Welcome to this latest episode of Transfomers Robots with These Guys. Before we can get into the episode proper, I would just like to say that we have experienced a technical issue during the recording of this episode, and all of my own audio recording had to be replaced after the fact in the editing process. This has led to some oddities and some changeable quality of audio throughout the episode. So I hope that you can bear with us and forgive us, and we will definitely try very hard not to make this mistake again. With that said, thank you very much, and now on with the episode. Welcome to Transfomers Robots with These Guys. This is our first episode of 2026. I'm your host, Jay, and with me today is Phil. Say hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
And Dan. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Fantastic. Spoiler alert for this one. Our topic for this episode is the latest Energon universe, Skybound Image Comics, which we'll be discussing the issues 1 to 24, the Daniel Warren Johnson run, and 25 and beyond, the Robert Kirkman run. We're going to be talking about that, our thoughts, our views, our opinions, and how we'd do it if only we had the time, the talent, and the money. But before that, the news. 2026 is looking to be a very busy year. Lots of exciting Transformers stuff. We've got the Combaticons coming, like we talked about last episode. But recently revealed, Studio Series Hot Rod is getting a re-release. Woo! Excited. Now, Phil, you love a repaint. And it is the right colour. What do you think of Studio Series Hot Rod?
We have been screaming for a pink Hot Rod for probably as long as he's been getting toys. So yeah, it's a huge win. You know, Malibu Stacy style. He does come with a new hat / fishing rod. So yeah, I'm 100% in for this.
And a sword and a shield.
Yeah. All he needs is a little 2-pack with the timeout robot, and we're done.
Did the original release not come with the fishing rod? Is that like a Mandela effect? I swear it had the fishing rod in it.
Definitely. I don't have a fishing rod.
I don't know if it was the DNA kit, but our friend Jay, hi Jay, he sold me a bunch of upgrade kits, which included a sad Daniel sitting on a rock with like a little fishing rod and a fishing rod for Studio Series Hot Rod. And yeah, that was a really cool little kit. But I had nowhere on my shelf to put it, so I ended up giving it to our other friend Tanzabus. Tanzabus on Instagram. Check him out. His photographs are amazing. But yeah, I had the standard Studio Series Hot Rod. I don't see myself getting the magenta one. It's nice. It looks better, but I don't, as friend Ralph would say, it's 10% better. It's not enough to warrant, forking out for the whole thing again. What about you, Dan? Are you a fan of this Studio Series Hot Rod?
So I don't have a Studio Series Hot Rod, but I do have a Rodimus, and I think it has to be one or the other for me. I tend to be a bit averse to having like same versions of the same character, even if they're different molds. The colour's nice. The extra accessories don't really do it for me because it's just more stuff to put in a box and lose.
Is it technically the same character though? I mean, I suppose
it's
like saying you can have
guy.
an Optimus, but you can't have a Pax.
No. And importantly, I don't have a Pax.
But if you don't get him, then how can you do the classic pose? I mean, there's only one accessory you need for Hot Rod, and it's the Matrix with the special effects. And then you stand them in front of each other, so it looks like one's growing into the other. Which is how mine have been standing now for about 3 years, since the end of Kingdom. But you don't, because you got Rodimus, you don't feel like you want to go back a step.
Also, I don't have a Transformers the movie shelf. I have a Return of Optimus Prime shelf, and he wasn't Hot Rod in that one, so.
Oh, which one is it? It's Dark Awakening, isn't it? Where he hands the Matrix back?
Yes. Return of Optimus Prime. Yeah. Optimus has to nick it out from him.
Ah, does he not turn back into Hot Rod in that one?
No, he's still Rodimus. He's just insane.
More insane. Okay, so at the moment in our triumvirate, we're sort of 1, 4, and 2 kind of not so bothered. Yeah, if it turns up on discount, maybe I'll consider getting it, and then I'll think about like donating the other one. But for now, he's fine. And for pink hot rods, I've got the retro, and he's a lovely shade of pink, perfect for that.
Yeah, I somehow managed to avoid buying that, even
Really?
despite wanting to own the G1 mold at some point. But
Oh,
yeah, it
it's
just
so
never came.
nice.
Just never came about.
It's such a nice little toy. I got mine on Vinted.
That's a very good point, Phil. I've got the G1 hot rod, so I definitely don't need him.
Yeah,
Well,
but
now
you've
there you
got to
go.
get rid of your Rodimus now because you've got Hot Rod. Or you've got to get rid of Hot Rod for Rodimus.
But the G1 hot rod is G1 and is a completely different looking guy. So that's how I get around it. Whereas this
Okay.
is a guy who looks like the guy and is the guy, and is from the same toy line as the guy I've got.
So when they get round to it, what colour is Missing Link Hot Rod going to be?
Well, obviously they're going to do a burgundy one and then wait 5 years and then do a pink one.
Or do them both at the same time and then charge 75, 80 quid for each of them, and we'll just have to lump it?
Yeah, you know he's coming, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
Missing Link Hot Rod. Yeah.
Well, Missing Link is doing gangbusters. I mean, you can't buy RC in the UK. She's just gone.
I don't think you need a missing link hot rod. He's already got elbows. What more do you need?
Knees.
Yeah, hips,
Forward
ankle tilt.
moving.
No.
Articulated eyes.
Oh dear. Action Man, eagle
Oh,
eyes.
of course. They've got stuff the visor gimmick in now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Come
Yeah.
on. I was
Oh my
joking, but no,
God.
seriously now, Hasbro.
Yeah.
Articulated eyes, please.
Oh no. Sticking on the Missing Link theme, Missing Link Grimlock's just been announced. And he looks very sweet. I've avoided the Missing Link because I cannot fall down that rabbit hole, but he looks very cool.
It's such a joyous rabbit hole to fall down.
Yeah. You've sort of gone in for Missing Link, haven't you? And you've been really happy so far. What about you, Dan? Have you bought any Missing Link?
I haven't actually yet. There's a lot I've been tempted by. I really want the RC. But I think they fit into that kind of category for me where they're a TF Nation impulse buy rather than something I'm actually going to, order specifically.
It's executed brilliantly, and I am jealous of those people who are like in for all this. Corden and Sunstreaker and Optimus and all those. But for what you get, I mean, I remember seeing like Bumblebee and Cliffjumper in their boxes, and they were like matchboxes, and I was like, how much for this? But they look so good. Grimlock looks really interesting. But they've changed things. He's not an exact replica of the G1. Apparently, his head's moved. It's in a different place.
Yeah, no, I saw that the head had been moved forward, and I think that's fine. I think that's like small little adjustments which don't change the original toy as so much as just enhance it.
Oh, yeah.
I would disagree, Phil. I would say you have to set out what you're doing. Why are you doing Missing Link? What's its purpose? What's its goal? I feel like it should be as close to the original toy as you can get it without, And I just feel like if you start taking liberties with it, why are you recreating G1?
It depends on for me if there's a mechanism which allows you to slide the head back and forth, which is not like locked in place or changed. Because obviously, I'm presuming his head's so far back just because of the way he used to transform. If there is then a further step that you can add, by sliding it forward just to make his proportions a little bit better, I think that's fine. I think that's akin to how they do Missing Links, like integrated Missing Link Optimus Prime's hands into his actual arms, as opposed to just pegging them on.
Yeah, I guess I can see your point on that one. It was interesting, the Sunstreaker one, where they had integrated hands, but they could add on hands in case you want to go back to that. I feel like they were trying to please everyone.
I feel like Missing Link is made by people who had the same childhood experience I did with Transformers, where I looked at my Power Master Prime and was trying to figure out how to give the little robot shoulders and how to separate the legs out. And thinking, God, this toy would be perfect if I just had those.
So, what do you think? Phil, will you going to be pre-ordering Grimlock?
I'd say strong yes. I haven't seen the price yet, but I had Grimlock as a kid. I don't think I have anything left of him. He was played with until he crumbled into dust.
Is Grimlock one of those G1 figures that it is known for having like quite a few missing bits, or having quite a few common breakages?
He goes loose. Like his hinges and whatnot, they go extremely wobbly and loose. As far as I'm aware. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out. I might pre-order it. Grimlock's my wife's favourite character, so it'd be nice to have an excuse. It's for us.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it's her fault.
I will not be pre-ordering it because I'm probably the only Transformers fan that has no interest in Dinobots whatsoever.
Get out! I'm just going to kick you out the chat and we'll just carry on without you.
This is where I got cancelled. This is it.
What kind of a kid doesn't like dinosaurs?
I mean, yeah, I never watched Jurassic Park growing up.
Oh my god! Wow.
Informative.
Yeah. I feel like you've been abused, almost like neglected somehow. Like there's all this key things you haven't seen, haven't done. You'll be telling me you haven't seen Star Wars next.
Oh, Star Wars was cool. It had spaceships and stuff in.
And then they added dinosaurs into the special edition, which was even cooler.
God damn it.
Yeah. Sorry, we're getting way off topic here. So Missing Link Grimlock, very cool. We'll probably get it. Dan's not as cool as us, so he won't get it, which is a shame. What is the most that you would pay for a brand new on-release deluxe Generations figure? Because I'm wondering if it's going to be like 110 quid just because he happens to come with 4 mates. Hound is getting re-released in Studio Series. And I feel like I can almost hear all the fans across the world going like, what? I paid so much for him. I mean, he is the most expensive deluxe we've ever bought. And we already own like 5 toys nearly identical. Did you guys get this set originally? The Autobots Stand United pack?
No, because
I did not.
I wouldn't buy a set unless I wanted everything in it.
Wow. Dan.
Then
Also, I mean,
that's
a high bar. Wanting all of the figures in a box set. I mean,
wanting all the toys you're paying for to be ones you want.
If I like 3 out of the 5, and then like the 2 are just they're quite nice. I can definitely twist my arm over something like that. I convinced myself I can probably sell on the other ones, even if I sometimes don't as well. So yeah.
The bizarre thing for me was that these were repaints that like everyone had because they'd already been heavily discounted back in the day whenever they were released. But there was apparently a market for the Sunstreaker, Jazz, and Trailbreaker. Apparently there was a market for the other bits. You know, people were buying them for Hound and selling everyone else on, and apparently people were buying them.
So what I'm hearing is you could have had one 4-pack just with 4 bots that everyone actually wanted.
And then have Hound on his own. Yes, well, now you're getting your wish because he's being re-released as on his own. No difference to the original, to the 5-pack at all. It's exactly the same.
Which is strange. I thought they almost would have, like get people their money's worth or get them to double dip again, would it be to start with the toy version.
Is this another Studio Series 86 mold where the only time they showed up in the movie was dead?
No. He is observing Prime reverently, when he says, the Energon must be stopped, no matter the cost. That's his scene. That's it. And then you never see him again.
Yeah, he's kind of like just watches Optimus drive off into the distance into battle, and he's just like, well, I'm good here. Someone's got to watch the ship,
Yep, he's the Uber driver for Optimus. Didn't even rate me 5 stars.
He was actually in the entirety of season 3. It was just a hologram.
Yeah, it was various other characters. We just didn't know it. I've got Universe Hound. I don't have this mold. Oh no, I do, because I've got Detritus. I don't have this mold as Hound, and I don't know if I want to trade it because I really like my Universe one. Do you have this one, Phil?
I have the Siege version, which a lot
See-
of people still rate quite highly, and
Yeah, the
actually
Siege one was
it's
cool.
arguably better and a lot more solid.
I think personally, I will let this one pass me by. I've got as Visitron or Iron Fist. I've got it as Detritus. Yeah.
Oh
I don't
god,
need it
I'd
again.
forgotten about that. That is a great version of that mold, though.
It's really cool. It's a really good use of that mold. Dan, does he belong in the Return of Optimus Prime? Or
He does not. No. It's, to be honest, the longer I'm looking at the photos, the more I like the colours of it. It's just really nice, kind of creamy green tones, and you don't really see that much. But still, probably not going to buy it.
Yeah. So do you remember there was an animated Transformers movie had Chris Hemsworth and Scarlett Johansson in it? It was. Do you remember that? I'm trying to.
Vaguely.
I think it was.
Didn't get a sequel.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Well, anyway, that was 2 years ago, maybe more, and
2 years ago. How? 6 months ago, surely tops.
and TF1 Orion Pax has been revealed, and yep, they had to make him smaller than the Deluxe, the Studio Series Prime from TF1. So he's now about the same size as Bumblebee.
I mean, hopefully there's some amazing engineering to make up for that, Jay, right?
Well, there's a great big rock cutter tool to make up for that.
Yes, there is an accessory, and there is also this massive gap right through the middle of the alt mode. It is just, I'm going to look at it now, and I'm just sad. I'm hoping that this is like an early that they've just snuck out the factory, and it's actually missing bits, because otherwise,
Yeah, I've just seen a view from behind and all the red wheels on it as well. So maybe it is an early prototype, but it's not just the hole either. It's the angled thighs, the waist plate hanging off the back.
he's got his nappy back. I mean, Studio Series Prime had this like flap. It was a sort of solid piece that looked like a nappy, and it just kept shunting up every time you didn't want it to. And it's the same thing. It's like you've had 2 years, guys. Like you could have had another crack at this properly. Oh no, guys, I've just had a look through the pictures. This is an inbox one.
So I assume none of us are going to buy it, but in his
No.
absence, I can almost guarantee Ralph is going to buy it just for that weapon,
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
figure will end up somewhere else.
The accessory is pretty cool.
It is. I
Um,
think that is the one redeeming feature, is its great big buzzsaw. He's got a blue thing as well. Is that his transformation cog?
I think it's the hologram map.
Oh yes, but he didn't. He didn't use that when he transformed.
Ooh, it's
Yeah.
wrong. You should write to them and tell them it's
Oh,
wrong,
shit.
Dan. I bet they listen to you. Yeah, very odd. I've just seen on the packaging they've got like a cogless Orion Pax, so they can show off the as we were talking about, the holographic map, which led him to the place where he got his cog, so he didn't need it anymore.
It certainly
Hey,
is
I mean,
a figure that will exist.
Yes, it's a thing.
If it gets heavily discounted, then you can just have him on the shelf and it doesn't transform. It's fine.
I might just hang him from D16's grip, like over the shelf.
Well, he is accurate to having a giant hole blasted through him. So
Yeah, that'll work.
There we go.
That'll work. So on to speculating about future things, because it's been revealed through TFW 2005 the code names for the next raft of collaboratives that are coming out.
if we start with Kick, my nomination based on the kind of shit they normally turn out, possibly a Chuck Norris one. Did Walker Texas Ranger have like a cool 4x4 or something?
I couldn't tell you honestly. I have know nothing about the show except Chuck Norris.
No,
is
but
in it.
Surely-
they like doing 80s TV shows, don't they?
Yeah.
So
That's true. That's on the money.
and he
But surely
does kick
Chuck Norris
people,
wouldn't need
and that's all I
a
know
vehicle.
about
He
it.
would just run everywhere, right?
Oh yeah. So okay, I had this idea. What if this is Mr. Miyagi's car for waxing on, waxing off from Karate Kid?
Ooh.
What if it's that old I don't know, whatever that car was. It
There
was a
was a
major
car
point
in there?
in the movie. It's what he was waxing, you know?
Oh, I was thinking painting the fence. Yeah, there was
Yes.
some wax in the fence. It's been a while since I've seen this film.
Okay, so we don't know what Kit could be. I mean, it could be.
I've got to say, Jay, I chose Texas Ranger so that you'd have a shot at this, but I don't. Kamen Riders kick things a lot,
Oh,
so it could be a motorbike turns into a Kamen Rider.
that would be cool.
That would be. It's
Yeah.
maybe a bit niche for the West, but it's a possibility.
Because I think Collaborative is more led by Hasbro than Takara, isn't it? Like it's more of a Western American thing than like a Japanese thing. So that's really interesting.
Although again, got the Macross one.
Yep, and with Godzilla. So yeah, Kick could be a Kamen Rider. Okay, well that's giving me another thought for the next one, which is Race. It could be Speed Racer, like the Mark 6. That would go down a treat. If it turned into like the driver with his round helmet thing, what other race could it be?
Well, it could. Obviously, they don't necessarily have to be film or TV tie-ins. It could be as simple as like a F1 branded race car.
Yeah. Although F1's not that big in America, so NASCAR maybe?
So NASCAR maybe, yeah.
Enable some mold repaints. I'd go for an initial D.
Ooh.
If they could do a collaboration there. Big love for that car anyway.
Oh, it could be a drift.
There you go. Although, knowing Hasbro, it'll probably be Optimus Prime again.
Yeah.
Probably.
Magnus this time because he's white. I don't know.
What is collaborative and green? Because they're not turtles unless they're repackaging it.
Yeah. There's also Green Hornet. He had a car, famously.
Oh, yeah. Black Bess, wasn't it? Or Black Beauty? One of those?
Black Beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo.
I've literally only seen like the more modern films, so my knowledge of it is not great.
Yeah, but if they could stick the gadgets in there, because there's a rumor there's a Batmobile, isn't there? Ooh, a Green Hornet Black Beauty would be amazing. Yep.
Yeah.
Cemetery. We've had Bone Shaker.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a Wednesday tie-in.
Yeah, the limousine from Wednesday. I mean,
I tell you what,
Yeah.
the limousine for Wednesday, but instead of a humanoid alt mode, it turns into Thing.
It's a giant hand. Oh my god.
yeah. Oh, I'd be all over that one. But they'd really have to work hard in the engineering for that one. And Monster Jam 1.
We've already done Godzilla, haven't we? Or we're
Mm-hmm.
in the process of doing Godzilla. In which case, maybe a King Kong. A King Kong that turns into a biplane.
Oh my god.
That's quite inventive. That's really interesting. I would love to see a Kamen Rider and a Green Hornet. Do you guys have any collaboratives? Do you have any favourites in the set?
I don't know if it counts as a collaborative. I've got the NASA Optimus Prime, but I don't know that was released under the collaborative brand. It was like a Takara special one-off thing.
Phil?
Yeah, got the Ecto one, got Gigawatt, picked up the Jurassic Park set on discount, got Stranger Things as well. Again, not bought at full price. The Top Gun, again, I think I might have picked that from Game or something on discount. But I think I wanted to do a repaint of him. He got partly disassembled, and then I forgot all about him. So he's in that box somewhere. And I have the new Stranger Things one on pre-order as well. So yeah, this the only one I haven't bought is the one you've got, Joe, which is the Agent Knight.
Oh, yes. How could I forget Agent Knight? Yeah, that's my favourite, even though I forgot him. He's my favourite. Even though he's bigger than everyone else. He's more like MP scale. But yeah.
If I could have any thing as a collaborative, I'd want Thunderbirds. I would like a transforming Thunderbird 2, and I'd like it now.
That would be cool. So they look like the pilots, like they transform into Virgil. Tubby Virgil.
Yeah, if you like.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd be just as happy with a kind of robot head styled after the cockpit or something.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. And you could have like bits come out, like cranes and things that
Yeah.
you could use in both modes. That'd be amazing. I'd like to see a 2-pack of a TARDIS and a Dalek.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
The
that'd make an
Dalek
excellent
though has
Transformer.
to transform into that one Marvel comic villain.
Yeah, that one guy in the background of that one thing.
You're asking for a transformer that turns into a rectangle, a rectangular box.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
sexiest blue
it's not-
rectangle
it's
that
not- it's
ever
not a big
rectangled.
ask.
I mean, an engineering
Although
marvel, it will not be.
Yeah. It is going to be a horrendous shell former. It's going to have
It'll either be
4
a shell
TARDIS panels
former
hanging off as a
or,
cape,
just like
and the top as a
full-on
hat.
G1 block.
But maybe all the panels turn inside out and they're like multicolored stripes that make a scarf that hangs around the robot's neck.
Yeah. Or maybe the robot mode is about 5 times as big as the vehicle mode because it's bigger on the inside.
You just keep pulling arms and legs out for days, and it's like Titan size when it's finished. Yeah,
Brilliant. Actually,
That'd be
invent
really
mass
cool.
shifting.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to being very excited by these code phrases. But by the time this podcast goes out, they've all been revealed, and we'll all just be like massively disappointed and sad and angry and all the rest of it. But that's how it is. It might be great. We'll just have to wait and see. And 2026 is going to be jam-packed anyway. So on to our big topic for this episode, which is the Energon comics. Now I'm going to put it right here, guys. We're going to go straight through from issue 1 to 27. So spoiler warning, we will talk about things in those issues. We will talk about them openly. We will just do the broad strokes. There are other podcasts which will have covered this in much greater depth and detail. We're just going to cover the broad strokes of this very long story arc. So yes, spoiler alert, we will be discussing things that happen, people who die and people who don't.
Wait, people die in it?
Yeah, that's one of my topics that I want to discuss a bit later on because there's an issue there.
That sort of thing happens a lot.
Yeah, I started collecting the month that issue 4 came out, and then I went on eBay and got the previous 3 issues, and it was a great time to jump on really because I don't collect comics normally, and just a brand new thing. People were raving about it. And I've really enjoyed this 2 years plus of collecting this comic. I think it's kept me coming back. It's kept me coming back to my local comic book shop to get the issue every month. And I'm enjoying it. How about you guys?
So I have been picking them up as and when they drop volumes. It's definitely been a bit of a mixed bag for me, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah. Are you feeling like you want to see it through, or are you not too bothered?
So now it's had a bit of a kind of soft reboot, and they've taken it a slightly different direction. I'm going to stick with it for a little bit and see where it goes. But it was definitely starting to kind of lose me a little bit.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, I can see
okay,
that. I can see that.
Yeah. What do you think, Phil?
I mean,
have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I went big on it from the start. As soon as it came out, I had it on pre-order. Surprise, surprise. And when I first started reading it, I thought, oh, it felt like a breath of fresh air. I felt they were very good at kind of coming in and sort of sweeping aside and doing their own thing. Essentially, I thought the story accomplished that. I thought the art style kind of really sort of made it its own thing. And like you said, and as part of those kind of sweeping changes and doing their own thing, like you said, there is a lot of death, like from the off, I guess, to kind of really, really set the scene and set the stakes.
Well, I agree with you on the art. Daniel Warren Johnson's drawn some of it. Jorge Carrera's drawn some of it, and Michael Spice has been like a regular colorist throughout. And it's got kind of scrappy feel, like it's almost an indie comic book. Like it feels like it's been sketched rather than carefully outlined. It's
There's a lot of
sometimes,
energy to it.
yes, energy, motion, movement. But sometimes I'll look at something and I kind of have to like rotate the page and I'll be like, what am I looking at here? Is that an arm? Is that a leg? It feels like some of it blends and it's like it gets very busy and it's kind of hard
Okay.
to kind of discern what am I making out? What's the
I've
detail?
Yeah, yeah.
definitely struggled
We're not
to.
talking quite Bayverse level, but
No, no.
sorry, Dan.
So I was just going that. Yeah, I've definitely struggled to kind of make out what's going on in quite a lot of the kind of earlier issues of it.
Yeah, yeah. But the fighting and the action is drawn beautifully. And Daniel Warren Johnson being a big wrestling fan. I mean, I'm not a big wrestling fan, but I do love seeing a good suplex in there. Or Optimus Prime doing I don't know what the moves are called, but I'd love to see him like flip somebody over or smash them about. And you can see a lot of like different toys are being used. Because there's a bit where they've got Optimus Prime's trailer open and they've got the repair drone over, and the detail is amazing. It looks just like the Masterpiece toy, down to like the little details of the side flap, and it never looks weird. So like you haven't got like any sudden proportion changes or people changing scale or anything like that. And it really is putting through hell. Like those first few issues where like anything goes, and they're like Bumblebee just killed in the first issue, and it's like we got rid of him. Yeah, we've got another one. We've got a red one instead. We've got a red Bumblebee. We're going to use him, and it's interesting. The violence is incredible. People are being killed. People are like humans are regarded as squishy, like the famous Starscream killing that pilot with a splat, in the middle of the air, and that sort of thing. And then it's like, just kind of just moved on. Like, yep, we've killed that person. Next thing, and then the next horrible, horrendous thing happens to somebody, and I don't know. It just feels like it started as like, look what we could do. Anything could happen, and then it started to get like a bit gratuitous.
So it's something that back in IDW when All Hail Megatron was a thing. It was a very similar kind of premise. Obviously, it was a much shorter run, and it was a very much the focus was on how screwed humans would be against Transformers.
Yes.
Because the
Yeah.
Autobots weren't there for the bulk of it. And kind of
Yeah.
it had kind of once the Autobot showed up, it was kind of went back to the standard pecking order fairly quickly. Whereas here, obviously, it keeps going and going, and it did start to become a bit exhausting, I think.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree, because I think the idea of the way they sort of present it, I think that kind of, I mean, I'm not going to say realism because we're talking about sort of giant transforming robots here, but yeah, in reality, if you have got these massive robots running around, punching each other, blowing up buildings, like humans have absolutely no chance against them. And similarly, I would hope as well, see the robots are meant to go up against each other. If enough damage is done to them, then they will cease to be. You don't get that, oh, so and so has been blown in half. It's okay. We'll just, take him to the Junkions and we'll just like put a bit of polish on him and bam, he's back again. There's absolutely no stakes that I don't care if someone gets blown up because it's fine. I'll be back in the next couple of issues anyway. So on that side of things, I thought it was really refreshing to see that. But yes, I agree. It was kind of like, just give these guys a break. Just every now and then, it's just it felt, and I don't know. I mean, like, is that kind of good writing? Because you are, you're almost on the same journey with the Autobots, but it's just horrible. It's like those torture porn films. Like some people enjoy them, but I'm just like, I'm getting
I
nothing
think as
from
well,
this.
what I felt was none of the deaths really hit me that hard. Like, by the time they'd happened, we hadn't really got to know the characters that well. I think what
Yeah.
was the? I mean, obviously, Bumblebee they killed off immediately. It's just like the
Yeah,
big
which
bam, anyone can die thing. Who
yeah,
was the next actual Autobot after that? Was it?
Jetfire.
was it?
Oh yeah,
Jetfire got
Jetfire got shot.
absolutely wrecked.
So
Yeah, so
yes,
Jetfire was shocking just because it was unexpected so soon,
Mhm.
because they kind of
yeah,
bigged him up to be a major player.
exactly.
Yeah, but here's the
But
thing,
actually,
right? Because they've been
okay.
fighting. Sorry, Phil. They've been fighting. The Autobot's been fighting, as Optimus puts it, for hundreds of years. So long he's lost count. Millions of years passing on Cybertron while they're asleep on the Ark. For all that length of time, for the amount of time that they've been fighting, they're all really bad at actually killing each other. Because, like, spoiler alert, Bumblebee might be okay. Jetfire is okay. He just walks in like, oh, by the way, we did have that grease from Junkion. I'm okay. We're okay. Skywarp. Oh no, Skywarp's stuck in that computer. We can't possibly get him. Oh, spoiler alert, we got him out. And it's just like, oh, okay then.
Yeah.
If you guys are up to date, that reveal
Yes.
at the end of last issue.
Yeah.
What does it take to kill these things? Because it's not what they're doing to each other. And all of these, none of those deaths, none of those gratuitous violent deaths have any impact because
Yeah,
they can be put back together.
This is the thing. See, because obviously when I was just talking just now, in my head, I'm thinking about this sort of the Daniel Warren Johnson arc. Now, yeah, those reversals from Kirkman are a little surprising. They've definitely taken the kind of like the emotional punch out of some of this. With Jetfire, when you mentioned Jetfire, that was one of the that situation was actually portrayed really well. And you've got that bit where he's with Optimus and he's kind of alive, but he's stuck in jet mode and
Harrowing.
he can't see anything.
Absolutely
Yeah,
harrowing. Yeah.
that had emotional weight to it. That actually had a big impact. And then now he's just back. There was no cost to be paid. He obviously we don't know if he's fine. Like maybe there's some trauma to be dug in there. We love trauma here. But yeah, it's just a big flick of a switch, and it's just kind of like, oh, he's fine.
Yeah,
But when
I
they do sort of just point at Bumblebee's body and Ratchet's body, and they're just like, well, we can only do so much, and it's a bit like, I don't know.
The team
Where's the
change has
line?
meant a huge tonal change, and the art's very different. And like you said, Dan, it's like a soft reboot almost, but
yeah,
a new direction. But like prior to that, I thought issues 1 to 24 had some like really interesting takes on some familiar G1 themes and styles. Like I just bringing in Elita 1 and her having like zero affection for Optimus Prime was a really bold move. She's not Barbie to his Ken like she was in the G1 cartoon. I mean, she hates his guts.
yeah, I think there were some good things in it, but none of it really felt to me like it got a chance to breathe in amongst all the constant fighting. Like, I think in some ways it kind of the constant fighting and, let's say, kind of feeling exhausted by it does kind of bring you into the tone of it because it kind of gets you into the mindset of those characters. But at the same time, I think the bit of a breather we're getting now with the refresh, where we've gone, I think, 3 episodes where no one's fired a shot, apart from the bit of the scuffle with Thundercracker and Skywarp.
Yeah, which is again, I
It's
have
kind
issues.
of, really, really helped me to actually get back into it and kind of, see the characters just chilling out a bit, talking, kind of, moving forward from what's happened.
The very different vibes, between the two runs, the changing of the guard is really noticeable. Despite the stories having like loads of continuity, it does feel like we've flipped the page and now we're doing something differently and we're just moving on. I love the depiction of the Decepticons. I love how they've like Skywarp. It calls them brothers, and every other Decepticon is like, no, I'm here for me and the carnage I can cause, and I get to be my own horrible little person in this group. That's why I'm in this group. That's the only reason. So every Decepticon has their own reason for being there, and for like they all think that the Decepticon cause is something different. Like Starscream thinks it's about power, Soundwave thinks it's about peace and control, Skywarp thinks it's about brotherhood, the Constructicon thinks about smashing things up, and it's all like everyone's got a different reason for being there, and it sort of becomes apparent across the arc, like they're all different classes of Decepticon almost.
I did love Megatron's little speech that kind of really summarised what he's kind of founded the Decepticons to be. And obviously, like he's asking them what do the Decepticons stand for, and like they're going, tyranny. I can't remember there was like three tenets, weren't there? There's like tyranny, power, whatever. And then Megatron just like stops them with like, no, we stand for peace, but we are going to achieve peace through tyranny.
Yeah,
and like these are a means to the end, and I think it kind of summarizes that this Megatron is kind of, he's got a very specific vision of what he wants in mind, and he will use any means to achieve it.
He also seems to revel in it. Like he is like yes, I'm a monster. This is what we're doing.
He's got a kind of vibe of, he thinks the universe works in a very specific way and needs everyone else to see it that way.
Yeah,
like his little game with Optimus, kind of towards the end of the first bit, where he like, gives him the choice of save the humans or save a fellow Cybertronian.
Yeah. It's not enough to defeat Optimus. He has to kind of
like everyone
see why he lost.
Yeah, everyone must kind of subscribe to the same philosophy as me.
Yeah,
exactly. Even Starscream.
Yeah. Poor bloody Starscream. Well, actually, you say poor bloody Starscream, but he's a petty little bitch all the way through. And then it's like, oh, but there's a terribly tragic reason why he's a petty little bitch. Yes, but he's still a petty little bitch.
Yeah, exactly. His Ulchtar moment, it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't redeem him, because he's
not at all, not in the
horrific.
slightest. Yeah, he's still, when he's like that. I mean, obviously it's about abuse, and it's about being under somebody's control, under their thumb.
Literally.
Being meant to do things they don't want to do. But when he's out of that control, he just exercises his frustrations, and he enjoys inflicting that on other people. And so, yeah, there's no redemption for him there. And I thought his ending, like, what do you think of that? Like the Deus Ex Machina bit, where like
Omega Supreme.
Omega Supreme turns up, waves, and Starscream shoots himself. Yeah, like, what? Was he just in the area? Is he like an intergalactic postman doing the second-class rounds?
I did spend quite a bit of time on TV Tropes after catching up on it. And apparently they did like set this up a few issues prior with like, the bit of Cybertron that has the Omega Supreme beacon has crashed on Earth.
Did they?
But yeah, it really does read like it's just shown up out of nowhere.
Yeah, unless you happen to remember that one bit of dialogue. Yeah, absolutely. It's just sudden Omega Supreme.
Like you say, Dan, it's the cost of reading these things weeks apart.
Yeah, of Ultar. Is it pronounced Ultar?
Yeah, Ultra.
When he was that, like, hoping to see a Titan.
Yeah, no, I remember that moment. I did like the callback to that. I thought it was a nice moment, and I do like that they kind of cemented this kind of bit of Starscream's past in there. It still feels like it comes out of the blue.
They could have. I feel like they could have given it a bit more of a kind of lead up of like Starscream maybe having some doubts and guilt.
Yeah, he flips very quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he does remember who he was in a moment, and then instantly has enough regret to take his own life. Yeah, I do also feel like it's greatest hits album, this comic run. It's just picking lots of different Brits. Here's the arc. Here's the robots being put back together by Teletran 1. Here's this bit. But you know the song, and like, well...
But that was a great
Which
moment.
one?
Come on.
Which one, Daniel? Like, Dare or the Touch? Which one are we doing, mate? But it's... it's got that Ready Player One vibes. And Ready Player One, when you read the book and when you watch the movie, the entirety of Ready Player One is, do you remember this? Wasn't it cool? Do you remember this? Wasn't that cool? What about this? What if we had them together? Wasn't that cool?
Yeah. Or what if we make it even more extreme when we do it?
Yeah.
I don't think it goes personally. I don't think it leans in that hard. Not to the kind of that Ready Player One winking at the camera too much. Like every now and then it's peppered in at the right kind of moments, and you're kind of like, oh no, that's quite cool, or this is that little kind of the spin on the whole thing. So I don't think it's too heavy-handed.
It might even be the same issue as the the song bit, but there's definitely a moment where the background sound effects literally go, "Oh yeah,"
written in great big letters, like you're enjoying this as much as I. But then on the flip side of that, it's like Dan Warren Johnson's a fan, and he's having fun in this playground, and he's wanting to have you guys have as much fun as he is. And isn't this cool? Isn't this awesome? And I'm absolutely here for that. Like the first read through, reading it uncritically as a fan was amazing, all the way through. Like every issue was fantastic, but it doesn't stand up to much scrutiny. Like, well, I don't know. It's not original. It's a redo of G1. It's got some interesting takes on characters. It sort of fleshes out some. I don't know if you guys know it anymore. The character of Astrotrain is really interesting.
Yes.
He keeps apologizing.
Where did that
for
come
being
from?
evil. Then he's just going to be evil anyway. Like, really sorry that I'm going to have to kill you and your entire planet, but no hard feelings, huh? What? Like, either you're sorry or you're not. Don't just keep telling people you are.
And he had this weird... Dan, obviously, you may have, if you've read through it quite more recently than us. What was his beef with Megatron?
Megatron killed his lover, which we never find out who his lover was. Only that Megatron killed him, and he really wants to kill Megatron for that.
Yeah.
It's just a bit flimsy.
Yeah,
like I liked it. I liked the idea that they had to lock him up, and he would only kill people if they were letting him kill Megatron afterwards.
We could have got like a couple of panels of flashback or something just to show that.
Yeah, but there's this thing like, what do you spend the time on? You've only got so many pages and so many panels, and you've got to have your big spread of, Optimus being the hero. You've got to have your suplexes and across a double-page spread. So there's only so many panels you can fit in.
But again, do you? And if you do, why introduce these characters and kind of give us these hints of something when you could just make it the Optimus Prime show?
I thought it was interesting that Astrotrain was in there to be defeated by Beachcomber gently, and then to just be treated well by Beachcomber, and then kind of left. Does he return after? Do we see any more of him?
Yes, Megatron completely...
Yeah, Megatron kills him.
Obliterates him.
Oh, yes, yeah. So it's been a while since I read through the
Megatron gets Starscream to shoot him.
Yes.
Yeah. Which that makes it more about that Starscream Megatron dynamic kind of settling back into its old ways than it does about Astrotrain actually just being killed. And it's kind of...
It would have been...
Again, that lacked impact.
I think it would have been nice to see Astrotrain get a bit more development. Get like maybe an issue or half an issue like dedicated to him kind of like finally clawing his way to Megatron and falling at the last hurdle. Whereas kind of we get the fight between him and Megatron in between all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then he shows up again in chains and immediately gets killed off without... I don't think he even says anything. I think he just is kneeling there, and then Starscream shoots him.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I remember lots of plot beats from the 27 issues, and that does not stick in my brain at all. I can
No.
barely register that.
And I think that's
Um,
part of the problem, because it is,
Yeah.
you've got all these deaths and such, but if they
I've
don't
I've got on
mean
my
anything,
notes
if they don't
here.
have any weight, you
It
don't
all
remember
blurs
them.
into one lump of violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to
yeah.
have those ups and downs and that character development, so that when
Yeah.
these dramatic things happen,
Which,
they,
if I can just
they stick in the mind.
compare it to IDW again for a moment,
Oof.
the thing, we won't talk about IDW 2, but the things I really liked about IDW 1, especially like obviously where I got in on the more meets the eye bits, they did have those light-hearted moments, and they had kind of briefer episodes where they all went out drinking and stuff. And then when, say, Pipes suddenly gets squashed, you're just like, oh my fucking god, Pipes, no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you genuinely like, well, how am I going to live now? My boy is dead.
Checkity check,
Whereas,
check.
yeah, none. Going back, I think again, none of the deaths in this have really hit me hard.
Exactly.
No,
Like even
yeah.
a non-character like Ambulon.
Yeah,
That,
Yeah.
everyone remembers that death, and that is, so
yeah. Well, we got the whole thing of like, oh, he's like an ex-Decepticon, and he's, now he's an Autobot. He's grumpier than
yeah,
Ratchet and everything. Yeah,
he's got
and
this whole
then
thing where
fucking
it's his
lengthways.
backstory, and then no
Yeah.
lengthways.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
you remember all of the beats of that from
Yeah,
having read it maybe once or twice.
yeah,
and
and
they're
that was
they're all clear and
10
but
years ago.
yeah. Yeah. Then like there's no spotlighting going on in this
No,
run.
and
No,
like
except for Megatron and Optimus.
yeah, but like Ratchet's body showed up. I was like, oh yeah, Ratchet died, didn't he? I was
Yeah.
like, I cannot remember for the life of me the moment of him being killed off.
It was
Yeah, it
not
was
well.
almost in passing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when Cliff
Too
Jumper
casual.
and Jazz get kidnapped. And Shockwave and his Constructicons, or whoever it is, I can't remember who it was. They kill them, and the Autobots have to retreat and leave bodies and people behind, and they're absolutely gutted that they had to retreat and leave them behind. And then you've got Ultra Magnus and his deep-seated trauma that you can't cope with.
I did quite like the Ultra Magnus like subversion there.
Yeah.
Of like, they big him up to kind of charge in and save the day, and then he just like turns and runs.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's one of the few moments I actually do remember as being like,
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it's quite nice that when at the end of the last run, where Optimus is down, he's going through a whole Vision Quest thing with Spike, and then it's pretty much left to Magnus, and he has that little speech, and he's kind of like, he charges
Yeah.
into battle, and I think that's quite a nice arc for him.
Yeah.
Unintended.
I also like the fact that after that, even he's done his big heroic bit, but he's still kind of like, actually, like I'm still kind of broken by things. Like, I like that. It's not quite as clean as having one big heroic moment and kind of being healed of your trauma.
Exactly. I
like
think that's a more modern way of taking it.
I like that in the recent issues he confronts the human general who also tortured him for a fair bit as well. It's like, hey, you did some stuff to me, and the guy's like, yeah, and
can we talk about General Flag for a bit?
I would love to talk about General Flag. I assume from the way they keep putting him in the middle of the frame that he's like somebody really important in some franchise.
Well, I assume he's a G.I. Joe character.
Oh, okay, so he's named after a boat then.
Well,
the boat's named after him.
I assumed the boat was named after him, but I've not seen G.I. Joe, so
yeah, go on then.
I know there's
but he is like a delightful caricature of kind of like very macho American soldier man, but they kind of make it work. Like he's got that kind of that very kind of pragmatic streak in it that I am I'm going to do horrible things, and I'm not going to be apologetic for it because I believe that's the way to win and do it. And
Yeah. You were an enemy combatant of alien origin. Big giant
yes,
robots who looked just like you were indiscriminately killing my people by the busload. I only recently learned to tell you apart. Little redhead, good. Little purple head, bad. And some of those little heads are hard to spot. I love that.
So I'm definitely looking forward to the moment that he does something completely irredeemable and breaks my heart because he's such a fun character so far. But I know he's going to do something very horrible at some point.
He seems on the level at the moment. He's a good ally.
He's on the level at the moment because it benefits
Yeah.
him to be.
Yeah, and massively. Like, he's the one who's pretty much come along with the magic junkyard polish and made all the Autobots good again.
I definitely feel like there's going to be a line that he crosses at some point.
Yes. If you need something from somebody. Yeah.
Again, within a couple of issues, that they've built him into this quite likable character, who's sharing banter with Optimus and nerding out over him transforming. That when he does do something horrible, it's going to hit that much harder.
Yeah.
Although on the human side of things, he also set him up against the guy from Mask,
Miles Mayhem.
Miles Mayhem.
Yeah.
Who is definitely he's like capital V villain.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely got a focus shot after the beating he got, didn't he? That is just like, this guy's definitely going to be a problem in a minute. He's not staying in captivity.
No. Well, they're obviously gearing up to do a Mask book as well to go alongside all this.
Yeah.
But can I just say that every so often I keep getting G.I. Joe and Mask in my Transformers book, and I'm like, just sorry, excuse me, I want to see my robots. Could you
see?
They're interesting coloured humans with their beards and their hair and their uniforms. That's great. I want to get back to my robots. I'm not enjoying the crossover.
I wouldn't mind that if they stayed in the Transformers book. What I'm worried is we're going to get the same thing we got at the tail end of IDW, where you're reading your Transformers comic and then it says, "Oh, remember this thing that happened in this completely different series that's relevant?"
Yeah.
I was like, no. What do you mean Cup got killed off in a completely different series?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I really worry. Like I wouldn't mind seeing G.I. Joe and Mask as like little sub factions that they have to work with on occasion.
Oh,
I definitely would mind. Say, I don't know, Wheeljack or someone showing up saying, "Hi guys, I'm back from my adventure with G.I. Joe." Little asterisk box. See G.I. Joe issues 57 to 110 for this.
Yep.
By the way, here's this gizmo that we developed and was fully explained in that series that will fix all our problems.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, I do not want to have to read a whole comic that isn't Transformers to understand my Transformers comic.
Yes. There's a very light amount of crossover, I think, so far from what I've read. So I'm also reading Void Rivals.
Yes.
So in that one, you do see when Jetfire wakes up. Essentially, he pretty much gets woken up by the main characters in Void Rivals, and he's just like, "Oh bloody hell! I need to go fly off and do something." And then you see him arrive.
Has there been any crossover since? Because I saw stuff about Quintessons in the last solicitation.
Yep. Nope, no crossover.
Well, hang on,
you've still got Transformers bopping around, but no direct interweaving of the narratives.
Yeah, because it's an interesting experiment. I know comics fans love their crossovers. I know they love, like, if we can have the new Avengers and the West Coast Avengers and the X-Men, and if they can all do something together over a year or two, that's really cool. I thought Void Rivals was something completely original, and then it just transpired that no, we just made 2 alien races with the Quintessons and the Sharkticons and the Slizzard and the whatever else from G1 Comics. So they're also there as well. There's Springer, here's whoever else. We've got Shockwave throwing them in as well. And it was like, so you're basically doing a Transformers comic, but from the perspective of 2 aliens. And I looked at the first issue and I just went, nah, I don't really want to do any more of this. If it was a whole original thing, like that was connected, then great. Are you enjoying the run? I mean, you're collecting.
Yeah, I mean,
it's been running as long as the Transformers.
It's well written. It's an interesting story. The characters are good. I do like I do like the idea that basically there's a massive universe. You know, it's like bloody Star Wars, and it's always someone related to Luke Skywalker. It's like no.
Mm-hmm.
Let's focus on these guys over here for a little bit because Transformers have been around for millions of years. Why wouldn't their impact be seen like a lot further afield? And I think there's a lot of stories that could potentially be told, different styles of stories, and if you tried to sort of pile them all into one book, it would just become a jumbled mess. So just by doing it this way, you can tell this story here, and you might get a character or so flitting back and forth in between, but otherwise they're completely distinct, and you're just telling another story which just so happens to have sort of Transformers interwoven into it, which I think is as long as it's a good story and is worthwhile, then I'm going to keep collecting.
As long as you're enjoying it. You're not collecting the G.I. Joe yet, are you? No.
There's only so much I can go. My pull list starts racking up after a while if I'm not careful. So no, it's just Transformers and Void Rivals from the Energon universe that I'm into.
I agree with you, Dan, that like if they start doing the, you need to have read 50 issues of Void Rivals and 20 issues of the G.I. Joe to understand this, that's when they've crossed the line. But they seem to be sort of just advertising that there's other comics, for like 3 or 4 pages of an issue.
I think there's,
and then we drop them and move on, and
I wasn't sure the whole thing that happened with Thundercrack and Skywarp was supposed to be, they went to another comic for a bit. Because they did the whole thing of like I do want them to explain flashed to a panel of them fighting some weirdo who was half red robot or something.
Was that covered in Void Rivals, Phil?
Nope.
No,
I don't know if it was a Void Rivals thing because they said it was somewhere on Earth. So I don't know if it was a crossover with the G.I. Joe bit or what.
I hope it becomes a running gag like the fishing trip in Gavin and Stacey. Where Skywarp goes, look, fine, we'll talk about what happened, what it is, and Megatron goes, get working, we haven't got time to talk about this story, and they just skip over the gag. Like, every time they go to talk about what happened there, something should happen, something should explode, and, everybody should just move on to the next thing. I'm enjoying it. It's just, every sort of like, I'm not interested in Mask, but thank you for putting this in there to remind me that they're there. And I'm just not going to buy your books on those. I have a question. How big are the Constructicons? Because
as big as they need to be.
Yes.
In robot mode, they're smaller. They're about as tall as Jazz. They're smaller than Optimus Prime. When they transform, they're all smaller than Optimus Prime, except for Longhaul, who's bigger than Optimus Prime. And when they combine, a single foot is bigger than Optimus Prime. Like, what?
Yep. That's mass shifting. Rule of cool.
Do we need to get Matt in here?
Yeah, it's...
he would never fit.
Yeah. I don't know, if they... Again, I'm just like, does he need to be this big to be interesting? Does he need to be that big? Does it make him, the dropping him off a cliff, more interesting because he's massive or, that sort of thing? It's just...
That's something that got me, is he got knocked off a building. I thought, well, isn't he just as big as the building anyway? Is it not just going to be him, equivalent to him falling over?
It was that when he was wrestling Bruticus, and it was kind of like it was a cool shot and everything, but ultimately it didn't. Again, it didn't mean anything. Like they might as well have just fallen off. They might as well have been smaller and then fallen off something small, right? There's no.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Like in the early issues when Optimus drops him on Starscream and
Yeah.
from the top of the arc, and that's obviously a fantastically drawn action shot and everything else like that, and it shatters Devastator into pieces. They just get better. And I know, like G1, they just got better all the time. But either you're trying to tell a story where things are at stake, or like you're trying to tell a story where we just do rough and tumble for funsies, and it can't. You've got to like pick one and pick a direction for it.
Yeah,
And that was
exactly.
before the writers change, before the team
True.
change.
I think they should have
Yeah.
established early on, like exactly what it is that kills someone and doesn't kill someone.
Yes.
I know.
Like,
I was looking
if-
at when they had Superion and oh god, I can't remember what his name is.
Slingshot?
Slingshot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like he's like, oh, he's dead, and like, really? He doesn't look that dead.
I feel that's one of the circumstances where, like, I knew that, like, they made it very clear he was dead. Like, he gets shot off, and then Megatron catches up with him and finishes him.
Yeah.
I think, like, that's if you're left in, like, on your own with Megatron out of commission, and he's pointing his gun
Did
at
Megalon catch up with him? I thought they were just
Yeah.
like, we have to fly off now.
No, they
Leave
like
him.
Megatron. The rest of the Decepticons are seen standing over his body. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Need
very
to look
like
back at
they're
that.
going to take your time and make sure you're dead.
Okay.
So I think like telegraphing that kind of thing, like making it clear. Oh yeah, we can like survive a lot, but if you get shot through the spark chamber, that's it.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to establish.
The rules don't seem quite clear. Like
No, well the thing with Jetfire, isn't it? I think the reason he was stuck in vehicle mode was he only had like part of his spark left.
Yeah.
Which, that seems like, oh, that's a thing you cannot cover from. And they go, oh, actually no, we got enough energy on, we fixed him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Having some consistent rules on what is and isn't fatal for a Transformer would be, I think, a big benefit.
On a related sort of line, what is Ratchet's job? Serious question. What is Ratchet's job in the Autobots?
Now it's to lie in the morgue and remind people of how sad they are.
All right.
But he was a chief
Ratchet's
medical
job?
officer. Chief medical
Right.
officer, surgeon.
But if you plug a transformer into a battery, they get better. All of their buffs and scrapes get sort of evaporated. When Megatron sees Starscream again, and he just zaps him with energy until he's put back together, so we can give him a proper kicking when he's fully repaired. Nobody's coming out there with a spanner or a screwdriver or anything. Not even the special junkie on grease. It's just whoop, and he's better. And then we're going to kick your ass again. So what was Ratchet doing? Was he just like, did he have like a pretend diploma on the wall, and he was just waving an energy rod and then pretending, making lots of noises with tools? Because then
it does seem like there's two methods of healing in this universe. That either you can take in lots of energy and you just instantly self-heal. But then, like, there was the thing of Wheeljack had to build a new arm for Optimus.
Yeah.
But obviously
Well, they were energy starved at that point, weren't they?
So I guess, like, maybe there's situations where you just need to build or transplant something when you can't just brute force it with Energon.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Dungeons and Dragons, and they're still being like barber surgeons when you've got clerics.
Yeah, it would be nice, and maybe it's something we'll get more of. But yeah, I think we need a bit more kind of world building and how things actually work in this universe.
Yeah. Maybe this is why the war has gone on for so long, because everybody's died like 1,000 times and has been put back together again. That's why there's no energy left. It's because they keep putting each other back together again and carrying on the fight, maybe. So going into 2026, there's no sign of this series stopping anytime soon.
Nope.
It's still quite popular.
Yep.
I'm going to be buying it, continuing until it really turns sour, and until, like you said, Dan, there's huge gaps in the story because you need to buy 3 other books. What about you guys? Are you sticking with it?
Yeah, so as I said, I'd like to see where this kind of new version goes. I was definitely I was definitely flagging on the previous run. I think the only reason I kind of picked it up was because someone would post on social media, "Oh, look at this cool thing that happened." I was like, I'd better read to catch up to that and
Yeah.
understand why that thing has happened.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it definitely
but
had its, not water cooler moments, but it's those kind of, come on, it's,
yeah,
it's
um,
come up with its own things. It's, everyone now in the fandom now knows what it means to go on the offensive.
but
The
yeah.
Oh
whole
my
So
Optimus
god,
using
yeah. There's a
Megatron's
so
arm
total
for
is
for this
it's
episode,
thing.
obviously, I caught up on the latter half of Volume 2 after Megatron shows back up, and then the three issues of the kind of reboot run.
Yep.
And it was very much night and day. Like, I was reading the remainder of Volume 4 just to prepare for this, and then as soon as I got to the next few issues, I was like, "Oh, actually, I'm actually want to find out what happens next here." I think just that little bit of kind of breathing room, that little bit of development,
mm,
Hmm.
has kind of gotten me back on board. So I'm hopeful to see what happens next.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm gonna keep picking it up. I'm just like I like Kirkman. I like what he did on Walking Dead. Big fan of Invincible. So I'm curious to see what direction he's going to take it in. Um, like I've enjoyed the first three issues in, but I am a little bit concerned that he's just kind of undone a few things, and he's like we said, removed some of the stakes. Like, what is it about bringing Jetfire back that could not be achieved in other ways? What is it about bringing Skywarp back? Like, I think that was quite a nice moment with him and Thundercracker. Although, seriously, Autobots, if you're going to revive a Decepticon, maybe don't give him his guns straight away. I don't know. That's just me.
The guns are built
Um,
in.
Yeah, they
That's
just
like that's
grow
like
back
bringing
with
you back
everything
without your
else.
fingernails.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
pull them off. They're on 5 millimeter pegs. It's fine.
Yeah. Here's the
Um,
weird thing about that though, because like I did a quick read through some of the issues before this recording started, just to refresh my memory. When he is embedded in Teletran 1, he's sentient. He's aware because he's messing with Wheeljack. He's trying to stop Wheeljack from working. And then when RC protects him, he reciprocates. Skywarp reciprocates. And then just go, oh, do you know what? No, he's just forgotten 24 issues of activity and
yeah,
he's still just quite mean.
exactly.
That's
There's
it, yeah.
like I don't mind bring him back, but make that what happened to him. It has to have meaning. It has to have
Yeah,
changed him as a
Yeah.
character, affected him in some way. I mean, he's just
yeah. Well,
like back hanging with his buddies, and he's just like, "Hey, we're
maybe
all good
when
here."
Soundwave makes it back to the Decepticons, they might have some beef with him.
He doesn't remember
Hopefully,
any of it.
Well,
He's convinced that the
maybe
Autobots have been keeping him prisoner.
maybe
But
we'll get some flashbacks or something.
wouldn't it have been more narratively satisfying if Skywarp was the one who changed his badge?
That would have been interesting, especially
yeah,
because
plot twist.
obviously Skywarp just would not gel with the Autobot FO so much. So it'd be nice to see him like trying but clashing with how they do things.
Yeah, yeah. And being like,
Yeah,
you guys literally ripped me to pieces. And these guys threw themselves in front of a missile for me. So I think I'm probably going to be better with those guys. And Thundercracker could be the one going, no, we're brothers. You're supposed to be coming with me. I'm rescuing you, etc., etc.
Yeah,
But I think what they might be doing is going, oh, well, in IDW, he had the dog and the writing career. So maybe that's the one who's going to be a goodie.
I think that's a great point.
yeah.
That would have been
Well,
more interesting.
Yeah.
it would have definitely been like Thundercracker is always the one who's a goodie. Like to the point, like they did the whole thing of, oh my god, he's an Autobot now. It's like, yeah, and
Yep. Yeah.
as
Yeah.
if it was, not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. How much fun would it be to have an a-hole prankster in the Autobot ranks? Like,
Yeah,
pushing people
It-
down the stairs for fun.
Whereas Thundercracker could have had the whole bit with Optimus that Soundwave got of, oh, this, I understand some of your points, but this war's gone on so long that we cannot reconcile at this point.
Hmm.
Is that why
Yeah,
he's still
it's
locked up?
interesting.
I can't remember. I've forgotten.
I think
Yeah, I
he's
think
locked up
so.
currently. Yeah.
Yeah,
See how long that
yeah,
lasts.
yeah. He'll get out.
One thing we haven't touched on: new characters get introduced all the time in comics. That's fine. New people coming into the franchise. We got in like IDW, we got people like Windblade and Drift.
Mm-hmm.
So for this run, for the Image, the Skybound run, we have Shredhead. What do you guys think about
Yeah.
Yes.
Shredhead?
Um, he's a bit of a non-entity at the moment.
Yeah,
Like,
he isn't. He hasn't had a chance to kind of have any personality, like
yeah,
beyond. Oh, he's really good at fighting people. But
wasn't that lucky at that point in time that he arrived.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
hopefully he gets a bit of a development, so he's not just a Mary Sue, because it is a
Mm.
cool
yeah,
concept that he is made from bits of other Autobots in his spark.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think it'd be a shame not to delve into that. But again, I think that's a thing that we'll have to wait and see how he gets
yeah.
utilised.
I hope we see a little bit more of that sooner rather than later. Because at the moment, it's kind of like, hey, look at this guy, he's cool.
Yeah,
Because
he's
we
cool. He's
say
got a
he's
sword and he
cool.
turns into a
Yeah.
van with a sweet paint job.
Yeah,
And he's
and
stronger than
he
everyone else.
Mm.
can pretty much like take down Megatron in one comic panel.
Yes.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
I think
Just
it's
been punching him for millions of years.
it's a shame as well that it took me kind of going through TV tropes again to understand that part of the reason Cliffjumper sent him back wasn't just to help Optimus and stuff out. It's because there's this essentially newborn child, and he's having them around fucking Elita 1 on Auto on Cybertron. It's like, well, this is gonna fuck this guy up.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't hang with your weird mum. We'll send you to your dad.
Yeah.
He'll look after you. Yeah, and like they definitely need him on Cybertron. They definitely would have benefited from him, but he would have just become this child soldier, like you say. I think it would be interesting to see those sparks resurface and to have him cope with like multiple memories, lifetimes, things like that. Trying to sort of the thing. Ask questions about what it's like to be a transformer. What's it like to be this being that's almost indestructible? What's it like to be multiple things that's indestructible? Ask questions like that. At the moment, he's just this cool van that became a cool robot.
Yeah.
I think that Daniel Warren Johnson's going, I would really like this as a toy, please.
I would really
I hope
like
we get
it.
one.
I would really like it as a toy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a very cool
I'd
design.
like to get to know him as a character more first.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
But what do we know about him, apart from he's got a sword? What do we know about him?
That's it. I think he might also have a shield.
Yes. Yeah.
But other character introductions, we had Bulkhead show up.
I like
Yes,
this character of Bulkhead. I like this version.
He's put his foot completely in his mouth twice so far, and it's great.
Yes, it is so good. Yeah.
Yep, like that.
It's like, does not know how to read a room.
No. Yeah. And Mirage is also there.
Mirage is also there.
Yeah, we've
That's all we
definitely
can
got
say for
favourites
now.
going on here. Yeah. And also, how weird is it? Like, General Flag's just like, oh, I've got some of your mates.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. I'm pretty sure we put all the bits back.
This is part of what I love about General Flag is like he's completely unapologetic for anything. He's just like, yeah, we've been dissecting them, but we haven't done it in a while now, so you might as well have them back.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I didn't know what these things are. We've had them for years. We've, fucking torn them to bits and put them back together. I ain't apologising.
Yeah, we've got microwaves and the internet out of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that develop and that grow and like what the Autobots are going to have to swallow and tolerate from the humans on that side of things, because there was a whole IDW thing about that, wasn't there? They were making, was it ramjets and thrusts as drones or something at one point?
yes.
Was that
was
like
that in the
a
records?
machination or something like that?
I can't remember. I know that they were basically cloning. They're making drone versions of Transformers, weren't they?
Yeah.
So maybe they'll follow similar lines of that. I hope not too much. I'd really like to focus on the Transformers and the humans that they interact with.
I think we're more likely to kind of get a sort of like that sort of thing that technology feeding into Mask, even though I think Miles Mayhem was just like, no, I was already doing transforming stuff before then. They're completely different.
Yeah,
Don't know why he sounds
it
like
very
that.
much felt like, we're setting up to reveal these kind of imperfect prototypes of human-made Transformers that don't fully transform.
Yeah.
And they just said, "Oh yeah, you're just bigging them up. You haven't actually finished anything, have you?" So that's quite relatable.
He's like the French guy in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I told him we've already got one. Because it's Miles Mayhem. You don't know how much of that is true and how much of that is made up. And yeah, it's going to be interesting, that side of things coming out, the technology of Mask being taken from Transformers, and how much of it is literally a Cybertronian, and how much of it is going to be human technology.
Yeah.
I liked Carly's arc more than I liked Spike and Sparky's. I don't know. I just felt like Sparky was doomed from the beginning. He was always just going to end up somewhere quite sad, and Spike sort of went along for the ride for everything. Like, stuff happened to Spike. He didn't proactively do anything.
No, you're right.
I could be wrong. He's a nice enough character, but like, he got shot, he got helped, he got healed, he got dragged into Optimus' mind. Carly, on the other hand,
he volunteered for that last bit, didn't he?
yes,
Yeah.
And that was the thing that
again, that's another thing that they could have like given us a bit more lead up to. Like they had the conversation between him and Optimus, like, oh, so what did my dad actually do? They killed him, and like explained he merged with it, and it would have been nice to just like see him kind of mulling that over a bit more, and I think that would have given his like decision to try and do it a bit more weight.
Yeah, was that ever explained? Because obviously we've got Megatron's corrupting influence was clearly underlined, but Optimus's dreams about being Spike's dad before anything else happened like that.
Well, I think that wasn't that to do with him becoming one with the Matrix. I saw it as him becoming one with the Matrix, and
I think it was kind of a quite.
Was that after Sparky did his?
That was after Sparky merged.
Okay.
The implication was they were kind of like Optimus was getting some of his memories.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't mind Sparky going into the Matrix. Some people were like, I've heard people go, was it a door all the time? But no, it's whatever it needs to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a magical MacGuffin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it does feel as well we're getting kind of development on how the Matrix works as time goes by. Like there's been kind of hints dropped that like not even the Autobots kind of fully know what it is. Like they treat it as like a battery that's accumulated the power of the various primes that have had it, and like it recharges itself after a while. But then like Optimus was kind of like, well, we can't expect the primes to speak through us to it, when that's like the whole like original purpose of it, and kind of what gets hinted at when they kind of go into it for the first time. So I think we're going to kind of see development on that front.
I mean, potentially, or maybe they're just going to drop the whole Matrix thing and focus on other stuff because it was so prominent in the first arc. But I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm going to be definitely picking up more of these. I'm enjoying collecting them, and it's a great opportunity as well because the local comic shop lets me know when they're in, and my wife and I make a trip at the weekend, and we're going to have the most amazing scrambled eggs at the Coffee and Comics place, and then pick up an issue, and it's really nice to do that. I've never done that with a comic run before. I never made like a point to make it an event. So it's really nice. Yeah. I'm looking forward to more. I'm looking forward to more Shredhead, some more Carly as well, and that sort of thing. We'll just see where it goes.
Maybe even some more toys.
Yeah, well, we've had
toys based
Void
on
Rivals. We've had Void Rivals Jetfire, haven't we? And we're getting a Studio Series Optimus again with an arm, and we've had the upgrade kits to do that. And I feel like the Thundercracker, the Studio Series Thundercracker, I think it bears a lot of resemblance to some of the designs in this comic. But yeah, Shredhead would be good.
Shredhead would be great. Yeah, potential. Well, people have said potential repaint of the Stranger Things van.
Yeah, I feel
mostly
like
just the alt mode.
Yeah, I feel like his transformation scheme is a bit different.
It is.
Like a little bit too far different, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm sure they'll come up with something. I'm sure. Well, I think that just about covers the whole of Energon Transformers Comics up to the time of recording. I hope you guys have enjoyed our takes, our discussions on this. It's I've really enjoyed it. It's been really good fun. So thank you very much, Dan. Thank you very much, Phil. Just before we go, we have actually had a message come in from a listener. So this is from Orion Gear, or Sleeves, as he's also known, and he's written to us on the back of our last episode talking about stores where we buy our Transformers from. Sleeves says, sadly in Brighton, we've lost the Brighton Retro Intergalactic Toy Shop, which closed down last year. He says it was a treasure trove of vintage toys, run by the wonderfully absent-minded Jay, who he did all the 80s toys. That's good to hear. Jay is still operating as Robot Garbage on Instagram and eBay. So locally, the next best thing is apparently Dave's Comics. So if you're in Brighton, go check out Dave's Comics for a great selection of toys and comics and bloody lovely stuff. If you're near the Worthing area, there's apparently Retro by Ronnie's too, who have some amazing stuff to look at. And if you're ever abroad in Paris, France, get on the metro and travel out to, and I'm going to mangle this pronunciation horribly, Puces de Saint-Ouen. Apparently there's some places in an indoor market that have an amazing selection of vintage toys and games, and lots of things still boxed, Transformers, Mask, He-Man, all of the sort of stuff that France went mad for in the 80s. And if you don't fancy going that far out, the Pop Culture Shop in the 11th arrondissement is choice. We apparently have to tell Fred that Sleeve sent you. So that's the indoor market at Puces de Saint-Ouen and the Pop Culture Shop in the 11th arrondissement. And as for online shopping, Sleeves joins me in recommending In Demand, but also wanted to give Omega Lock a shout for their excellent customer service. Apparently they've looked after him throughout the time that he's been shopping with them. So thank you very much, Sleeves, for coming back to us on that one. You can find him on various social media under his name of Orion Gear. So yeah, again, thank you very much for that. So guys, thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate you spending time with me, and thank you to all of you out there for listening. We look forward to talking to you in the rest of 2026. Until then, remember that every fan has his trauma.
Cheers, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.